Hello guys, good morning to you this beautiful morning. How are you doing this morning? I hope you are doing really very well. Don't forget you're on to Javin's TV. Kindly subscribe if you have not done so. Then share the videos. God will bless you. This morning I want to bring to you the situation of Jos. Since last week, Jos has been in serious crisis, even to the extent the state governors are beginning to evacuate their students from the University of Jos and other schools right there in Jos. But this morning there is serious tension in Kaduna as Jos crisis is escalating to Kaduna State. Okay, let's bring this news in detail. Recent developments in Plateau State following attack on Muslim travelers who were returning from a religious event in Bauchi could set neighboring state Kaduna into chaos as tension spreads across the state. Although the Jos attack was widely condemned and calls for calm and restraint made, the issue is, however, generally believed to be far from over. Countries flying in to evacuate their people from Afghanistan to protect them from the Taliban government is quite unstable. But when state governments in Nigeria make the unprecedented move of evacuating their citizens, students or not, from Jos, it is a clear red flag that something is brewing. There has been threats against Southerners in the country, but never have we heard of state governments making moves to evacuate their people. So what is happening in Plateau State right now? Considering there's an existing government in the country, but which prioritized storming Kaduna State for the wedding of the president's boy is extremely troubling. Killings have been going on in southern Kaduna for years, unabated. In fact, the people of Atiyab in southern Kaduna have been under siege for some time now, but all we hear from those in power is crickets. President of Southern Kaduna People's Union, Sokapo, Jonathan Aseke, in a recent statement accused the country's leadership of conspiring with the enemies to wipe our southern Kaduna people, as is evident in government's failure to take meaningful action against the ongoing carnage in the region. He said, there have been series of attacks in Kaduna State, series of criminalities where a whole community is wiped out, like in Zangon Takaf alone, where attacks took place within days. Over 100 people were killed, and in Jukun local government area, virtually 80% of the community has been displaced and many killed. But you will never hear anything from that presidency. Whenever they want to talk, they will say this is the reason it is happening. When Zangon Kataf came under heavy attacks, Garba Shehu came up in the media and said it was a reprisal. When somebody talks like that from that highly placed position, that means he knows what is going on. He knows who has been offended and the other person is coming to revenge. When that person is coming to revenge, he has taken the law into his hands. If there is rule of law, do we have leaders that are responsive and accountable to the people? Of course, if you are responsible, you ought not to allow a reprisal to take place, because we have the military, the police, and the intelligence agencies who can nip that in the bud. Do you call it a reprisal? Where a whole community was wiped out, their houses burnt, their crops destroyed, and they are displaced from their ancestral land. And you called a reprisal without going there to see what has happened. That is the kind of people we have in the presidency. Meanwhile, while there is damning silence on the plight of southern Kaduna people, the opposite was the case following reports of the attack on Muslim travelers in Jos Plateau State. The uproar, anger, and swift action by government shows clearly that all lives are not equal in the country. But it isn't any reprisal, however. The reaction of the presidency following the ugly and condemnable Jos attack was quite telling. In its reaction, through the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, Buhari, who expressed regret over the sad incident, said, however, that the attack was religiously motivated, thereby setting up the stage for a potential religious uprising is not only just, but also in northern states with history of religious intolerance. Shehu said, it is widely known that Plateau State has been one of the states affected by herder-farmer clashes, which have in significant way been curtailed following the intense peace-building effort of the administration of Governor Simon Lalong. However, to be clear, this is not an agriculturalist or paternalist confrontation, but rather a direct, brazen, and wickedly motivated attack on members of the community exercising their rights to travel freely and to follow the faith of their choosing. With the evident preparedness of their attackers, it is clear that this was a well-conceived and prearranged assault on a known target, location, and religious persuasion of the travelers, not an opportunist ambush. Now, in Kaduna, a state struggling with too many issues, tensions are very high. Residents are on alert as rumor of plans to carry out revenge attack on Christians in the state over the Jos incident sweeps across the state. Investigation by National Pivot found that there is indeed a great deal of anxiety among Kaduna residents. One resident who spoke in anonymity in Kaduna said a video was shared by a colleague of mine showing these people making threats. They vow to avenge the killings in Jos. Only God will help us in Kaduna State. My dear people, this is a recent development in Kaduna State, and then Jos crisis. There is serious tension in Jos. Right now, if you have your people in Jos and Kaduna, please you can advise them to begin now to evacuate the environment for their safety and lives. Okay, following this, and the crisis is beginning to escalate, even to Kaduna. Well, please, my people, use your tongue to count your teeth. If you're in these states and you feel you're not safe, kindly make a move right now. Now that there is still time, make a move, make a positive move to evacuate your environment as soon as possible for your life and the lives of your family and the safety of your family as well. My dear people, thank you very much. I will be right back soon